Hello out there, greetings, wherever you are on this planet. You're most welcome to Cross-Cultural Experience, where I have a guest, and the guest, must have moved from his or her culture of origin to somewhere else, experiences something, now is willing to share that experience. More importantly, what did he or she learn from it? And so today I have a young man who is, when you see, he's very trained. You know, his name is Steve. So let me allow Steve to briefly introduce himself, and then we can just share his experience. Steve, over to you.
Hello, listeners, and thank you very much, Professor Onyebadi, for inviting me to this awesome show. The name again is Stephen Boakye. Um, I'm from Ghana, and I'm here in the US. I'm an instructor at Texas Christian University, and I'm excited to be on this program. So if you have any question, feel free to go ahead and
All right. The first time I the name Boakye, I was spelling it the Nigerian way, which will be CHI. So I said, what is KYE doing in Boakye?
oh yeah.
So it's one of those things you learn when you cross cultures. Nigeria will most likely say CHI for the chi,
Yes.
especially if you're Igbo.
Actually, me too. I mean, growing up, I think that's the kind of I think the people who came to um, transliterate or transcribe our languages,
Yes.
into the written form, they might have introduced this kind of orthography style. So I believe probably I'm beginning to believe that maybe in the past, maybe it wasn't pronounced as it is today. Maybe we make it CHY, like the pronunciation sounds as such, but probably in the olden days, maybe phonetically, it might have been a bit different. Hence the spelling.
The spelling. Okay,
Yes.
well, you are now speaking like a professor of English language that you are. So,
Yeah.
all right, let's share your experience. Whichever experience. We'll share like two of them, and then we'll move on. So it's over to you. Go ahead.
Yes. So thank you very much, Uche. Basically, I have really had a lot of experiences with different cultures way back in Ghana. And I actually grew up in a very multicultural society, kind of part of Ghana, and that was in a place called Obuasi.
Uh-huh.
In Ghana, my ethnic group, or my people say tribe, but I don't believe that that's the word. It's supposed to be ethnic group, or yeah. So my ethnic group is Amanashante or Asante, and we are in the forest region of Ghana. And so that's where my mom and my dad, that's where they came from. And that's where they were, that's their origin, that's where they came from. So basically, I mostly grew up in a town called Obuasi. That's where I remember my childhood. I spent most of my childhood at.
Yeah.
Obuasi is like south of Kumasi, and it's a gold mining town. And because it's a gold
Did
mining
you say
town,
did you say gold?
yes,
Oh, all right. So we should be making friends with you. I'm sure you're full of
sure.
gold, eh?
Ironically, I've never seen a nugget of gold, or I've never seen a gold ore in my life.
No, no, no.
Not displayed on,
You're not
not the ones I
serious.
see on TV.
How can you come from where gold is mined and there's no gold?
That's the surprise part, right? That should tell you how, even though we sit on gold, we are kind of impoverished, because here's the case where they don't even have a museum where they even display the gold for the ordinary person to even go look at it.
Yeah,
So all the gold is exploited, they're just taken away. All we see is the bullion vans, carting the gold away.
taking the gold away. Oh,
Yes.
so
Uh,
you're like, since you're an English language professor, you're like what is it? Achebe who wrote that? Uh, how can you live by the side of the river and then wash your hands with spittle?
yeah, I mean, that's the irony. Yeah. So that's exactly the situation in Obuasi. So
Okay.
here Obuasi, and even the name Obuasi actually has to do with gold. Obuo means the rock, and Ase is under the rock. So there's this story about the town which suggests that somebody went to find gold sparkling in the darkness. You
Yeah.
know, just a hunter actually. So he went there. I mean, he was hunting, and then he happened to chance upon gold sparkling in the darkness. And then he went and he picked it, and he became rich. So they asked him like, "Where did you get the gold from?" And he was like, he said it in my language, like it was obuasi. That means it was another obuasi. That's under the stone, under the rock.
Under the rock. Okay.
And other people also went to that spot, and all of them got gold.
Oh yeah.
So everybody started saying, "We are going to Obuasi. We're going to the Obuasi. We're going to the rock under or whatever to go get gold."
I am headed to Boise after this chat. Maybe I can still find some gold. Who knows?
Sure,
Okay,
sure.
let's get to your the experience you want to share.
So because of the gold mines over there, it draws a lot of people from different backgrounds, different cultures.
Yeah.
So as for the time I was growing up, I actually grew up in a house that was we happen to be it's an Ashanti, it's part of the Ashanti region, but we happen to be kind of a minority in our own neighborhood and in our own compound house because our
Yeah.
compound house had mostly was predominantly occupied by Northerners, you
Okay.
know, and so we had a lot of people from the north, from different backgrounds. So I grew up with those with Northerners, so I was eating their food. And one thing that I remember doing in those days was being curious about the Islamic religion,
Okay.
because they had a what we call masalachi right by the house. So anytime
Yes.
we were preaching, I'll just go and stand there and then I'll be listening to them because as a child I was very curious, like what is happening, like you know. So I would just stand there and then some of the Muslims some of the Muslims would say, "This guy or this boy, if he were a bit grown, he would definitely become one of us." But you know, so that really sparked in me this sense of curiosity and so then after some time when I was about 13 years we I left Obuasi. I had to I was in Obuasi. I was actually staying with my stepdad.
Yeah.
Okay, so around 13 years my father requested that I be brought to him in Accra.
Yeah.
So I had to leave that culture and go into different culture in Accra.
Yeah.
In
Accra is the capital city.
yes.
Right.
And there, I had to now encounter the Ghana people who are also different altogether. So, and I had to learn the Ghana language and write examination on it within 3 years in what we call the BECE.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and from there, from Accra, I went to school in Tema, also another part of Accra, which is also more or less the Ghana language.
Right.
In Tema, it will marvel you to know that Tema, I went to school called Tema Secondary School to my secondary school, and that school was highly multicultural. We had a lot of foreigners coming there. That's why I encountered my first Nigerian, Nigeria. Like that's when I got to know Nigerians for the first time. Like
Okay.
they were some of them were my mates because Tema is technically a bit close to Nigeria, if it
Okay.
was in south eastern part of Ghana, you know. And so we had some Nigerians there. We had even my head boy, the SP senior prefect.
Yeah.
He was a Nigerian.
Okay.
That's how, you know, multicultural the school was. And then my closest friend in that school was a Korean.
Oh, all right. Now
That's
it's
how diverse
becoming
we were.
interesting. It's becoming
Yes.
okay.
So so I had that experience with people from different backgrounds over
Yeah.
there. And from Tema Secondary School, I moved to Cape Coast. That's Central Region.
Yeah. Okay.
And also it also called a different culture. And one thing that shocked me in Cape Coast was that if you couldn't speak their language, the Fanti language, you know, some of the sellers, some of the people who sold stuff on the street
Yes.
or in the stores, they'll give you a different price.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So, so prices were now kind of culturally based. Eh?
Yes, they will jack it up a little bit for you. They'll jack it up. They will assume that you are a foreigner, you're a stranger, and so you have money.
Especially if you're from the gold mining area called Obuasi.
Sure. If you happen to be from maybe from the hinterland like Ashantis like us, they will
Yes.
like, have money, you know.
Yeah.
And but Cape Coasters believe that anybody who was a visitor or should I say a foreigner apparently had
Right.
money. And so that was one of the shocks we encountered over there. But it was a very vibrant place. UCC was the university I attended. And
Yeah.
from the university, in fact, Cape Coast was really, the life there was very, I liked the life over there. So after my university education, I decided to stay there longer because that's where I got my first job after my
Okay.
graduation. and from there, I had to pursue my PhD in the US. So that's how I ended up in the US here.
Okay. Just one little question at this point. Did you have to learn their language to save yourself the hassle of paying more for
I
goods and
had to learn
services?
some words. Yes, it was very necessary. Besides, you know, yes, for survival, so for the sake of survival, you had to.
Survival,
So I
okay.
had to sometimes speak some broken Fante, you
Yeah,
know,
okay.
just to um, sort of compel them to reduce their prices and all of that.
Yeah.
And it works sometimes, but sometimes they could easily tell that yours is not. It's
Yeah,
not.
you're just faking
You're
it.
faking it.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Obuasi, Cape Coast, Fanti, Ashanti, and then you found yourself in the United States. Any cross-cultural experience in the US that now was like something else when you arrived?
Sure. I mean, the US, my first, I mean, actually, I moved to the US, and the city that I had to be in was El Paso.
Oh, in
So, and
Texas. Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
Texas, in El
All
Paso. And before I actually moved, before coming to school over there, I did a bit of research about El Paso. And so I knew a little bit about El Paso. And I was actually, I actually conditioned myself, I prepared myself for life over there.
Okay.
And yes, and I knew a bit about the Spanish culture and all of that because I mean the Hispanic culture, let me say it that way.
Yeah, the
And,
Hispanic. Okay.
yeah, so I knew a bit about them. I actually did some research about the Hispanic people, and so yeah, so I was ready to sort of adapt to the culture, and it was great for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any special thing about any specific experience about that adaptation process? Anything? I mean, you were ready, but you never know. You're never 100% ready.
Yes, and so in El Paso, I think life over there, I'm finding since you I mean I'm finding hard to really lay my finger on it exactly, but basically it was a great life. And
Okay.
I knew, you see, I did my homework before coming here, so
Yes.
nothing shocked me, truth be told.
Okay.
you know I knew about it. I mean, I used to watch movies about Paso, about his people of his Hispanic background. So I really, I must say, I was kind of very prepared to be part of the culture, the Hispanic culture, more or less. I mean, their food. I mean, for instance, I knew about tacos and
Yes.
tacos and all the foods.
All
Yeah.
right. You knew about the food, but you had not never eaten it.
Yes,
So how was it when you decided to now tackle yourself?
it felt home. Trust me.
Huh?
Yes, because Hispanic food, I mean, it's more or less it tastes like African food. I mean,
Oh, okay.
yes, because it's corn based and we eat a lot of corn based food. I mean, actually, Ghana food, Ghana
Right.
kenke, we have bangkun, and it's just the same similar ingredients but different approach to preparing the food.
Approach to preparing the food.
Yes,
Okay. So
so
you were actually very ready.
yes, so I really felt home. And the funny thing is, when my wife and my kids joined me later, they also fell
Yeah.
in love instantly.
Oh, with the food also.
Yes, so so almost always we go to maybe a restaurant to eat Hispanic food because we used to have a lot of Hispanic, should I say, Mexican restaurants
Yes.
at El Paso. So more often than not, you find us as the only blacks. Even there,
Yes.
almost always people were just giving us some stares. Like they were surprised to see us there, in line and all of that. And we got used to it. But
Okay.
it was amazing.
Well, did you have any experience, like people looking at you and they, oh, what is he doing here? And
Truth be told, that's one thing I got to know about Hispanic people. They were very, very accommodating.
correct.
Nobody showed any sign of, no, I mean, they really accepted us. There wasn't, we didn't feel any way like we're being kind of rejected or whatever.
Right.
I
Okay.
mean, they were very accommodating. We really enjoyed their company, and it's not like somebody led us to those restaurants. We went there by ourselves alone, and
Yes.
there was never a time that we felt like people didn't need us there. I've had a different experience with different places, which were not necessarily Hispanic, and I could tell, you know, that people really questioned your presence in that space.
In that area.
Yeah.
When you talked about, you of course, Professor Komla, he said something about going, into a Hispanic, dominated area, and he also enjoyed the food. So there must be this connection between Ghanaian food and Hispanic food, that makes it look like, I'm eating it, but I'm not in Accra, but it's just the same, almost, because you said it's mainly corn based,
Yes.
the Banku and all that.
Yes. So the
Okay.
connection. Oh, is there a question or
No, no,
what?
no, no, no. I'm just saying that there must be some kind of connection, because
Sure.
you're the
Sure.
second Ghanaian I'm talking to on this program that talked about the food and did not find any real difference between the food he was used to in Ghana and
Yeah.
now the Hispanic version of the food. It's just a matter of preparing it differently.
If you eat, says if you have their salsa, okay, and then salsa, like there are various sauces that they
Right.
add to the food. They taste like kenke,
Yeah.
pepper that we add to kenke in Ghana. So it really feels like home. Like if you are used to eating kenke and
Yeah.
pepper, you just really could tell that this is very similar. I mean, and then the way they prepare their meat, their
Yes.
food, definitely, if it really, it's one thing that I didn't expect to encounter in America here.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, to find
And
something so
that
similar to
was
that
pleasant.
in Ghana.
That was very pleasant experience, you know. Okay. Now you touched on something, because this forum. We also like to, tell people, people are different, but people are also the same
Yes,
across, so that it's not, you learned when you got there, your own, from what you have just said, is that, hey, the food is the same. It there was nothing different.
yes,
But more importantly, one of the things that, I try to let whoever views this program get to know, is that it's always nice for you to do what? To learn a little bit about the place you're going to, which is what,
sure.
can you just elaborate a little bit? Because you talked about it, you were ready, kind of. You just didn't just dabble into it, and then just a little bit. Talk about that readiness, that idea of readiness, knowing where you are going to.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, before I used to see a Paso. I don't know that I mentioned that earlier
Yeah.
in movies, and a movie like I used to be a fan of Breaking Bad series. I don't know that you know that series,
Okay. All right.
Breaking
Yeah.
Bad, and
Yeah.
Breaking Bad used to once in a while mention El Paso, and so I used to be a bit what do you call it, anxious about the place, because I thought maybe it was riddled with
Yeah.
drug dealers or drug cartels
All
and
right. And all that. Yeah.
engaging in violence and all of that. So I did my research and I got to know that El Paso really was one of the most peaceful cities in America. In fact, it was in the top 10. And I was like, oh, I see. And then I learned about the people and I got to know about, so I actually did some research about the food. Um, and yes, I mean, those things were things that I kind of, it didn't really surprise me, I must say, you know.
Yes.
But the only thing I did in preparation is maybe learn some few Spanish words.
But okay,
So
here and there.
I knew some few lines in Spanish, up to now, when I think I know some few words in Spanish, that if somebody's speaking Spanish and I pay close attention, I can pick something out of it. Like I can tell, like I can get the theme of the topic. I can get the
Of
theme of
the
the discussion.
conversation.
You
Oh,
know,
okay.
yes.
Uh,
So I must be frank with you. I'm nothing really. Yeah. So I came prepared. I learned the language. I learned the food. Up to now, we because Spanish cuisine is similar to Ghanaian cuisine.
yes.
Every month we go to a Spanish what do you call it, supermarket to buy our food. There used to be a supermarket in El Paso called El Supe. So we'll go there. It's like the fiesta that we have here, you know.
Yeah. Right.
And the
Okay.
ingredients that you find over there. So if you're an African and you are living in America and you want African ingredients and you can't get them in those African shops,
You
your
can go to the
best bet is the
Mexican.
Spanish supermarkets or
Okay.
maybe Indian, but Spanish supermarkets are the one of the places that you can probably start from if you want ingredients to prepare your food. So we
Okay.
still go there to this day.
All right. I know time is not on our side, but I really, 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 really want to thank you for being part of it, because, like I said, what do we learn when we cross cultures? we can learn that part of the things, i.e., food, cannot be the same. But more importantly, you're going to a place you've never been to before. And this, I think you're the first person who has ever mentioned this on this forum. Get ready so that
Yes.
you save yourself a lot of surprises.
Yes.
Right. Get ready. The people, the language, the food, the everything.
Can I add something to it? I know you are
Please go
completely right.
ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I actually did a street view tour of El Paso, like on
Oh,
Google Maps.
on Google. Ah,
So I could tell every street,
and,
before I even step my feet over there.
and to a professor. Okay, Steve, I want to
Yes.
thank you one more time and enjoy the rest of the day. This has been very, very exciting. And whoever wants to join us in this program, the way to reach me, it's Google, Gmail. Is cross cultural experiences. Don't forget the S, cross cultural experiences at gmail.com. Then I'll get back to you and then we can continue from there. But what I have gained from this is it's very, very important for us to be ready, especially when we are moving across cultures to avoid surprises
Sure.
or whatever it is. You might just get the surprise might just be that you're not surprised
Yeah.
because you did your homework.
Yes.
Okay, thanks again, Steve, and good luck with everything.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, bye.
Bye.